example of how to do a Leader in Me, Habit 1. We're going to go through the 7 habits in class, and everybody's going to do this similar video. So basically, I'll have the video set up for you so you can work on it. So here is an example of being proactive, which is Habit 1. So what you're going to do with Habit 1 is you're going to drop it in the your project bin, and if you notice right here, it's just a graphic, right? So you're going to start off with text where you're going to establish you as an individual that is going to talk about Habit 1. So we'll say in this case, and we're going to do all the habits this way. Habit 1, be proactive. And what we're going to do is we'll take a few of these, and this is what will go on the 6th grade news broadcast next week. All right, so in this case, I'm going to make this wider. Okay. And you can also come down if you've got space, and I'm going to say, just say with your first name like that. Okay, so we'll say my first name is Jeremy. So that is how I'm going to do it. Habit 1, be proactive by Jeremy. Okay, I'm going to leave it as such, not anything with it, not a whole lot with it. Then I'm going to go back to my project bin, and I'm going to go to video 1. Okay, now there's some things that you can do with it. With this, I mean, you can add this to your project bin, or this can just be what can guide you on your Habit 1 and how you're doing your Habit 1 with your video. So in this case, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go add some videos, and I'm going to do expectations with some stock footage and see what I can find. And let's go down to video 1. Let's go back and look at it. Habit 1, be proactive by Jeremy. Okay, and then now that doesn't need to be that long. Let's make it about 5 seconds long right there, because you don't want it to be so long. Okay, now in this case, I've got expectations. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to change the opacity and lighten it, or darken it actually in this case. That way, when I add what I'm going to say, I'm going to add my Habit 1, okay, by being proactive, using the text that I just used, okay. Now, I'd rather it not be in the video itself, okay. So this is where you're going to do some narration and some text. So in this case, you're going to, there's a couple ways you can do it. I mean, you use your multi-line text, but don't do too much at once. Like, for example, let's come in and let's say you are in charge of yourself. Okay, and then I'm going to put that in quotes, right? And then the next thing I'm going to say, and this is going to also be in quotes, I have a can-do, and I'm going to put that in quotes. Okay, I have a can-do attitude and will always try my best. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to take will out of that, and then I'm going to put will there, because I want the text to be about the same size. So in this case, there you go. So that's better. So what I'm going to do is now I can come in right here. I'm going to center it, click done, and then at the end, I'm going to, like, after I have everything done, I'm going to have all of the text, all of the video stock in the background done. Now, what I can do as well is use my color keyer. So let's go back into videos. Let's use your chroma key techniques that we've learned. Okay, so let's go into, let's see what I can find here. Let's go, let's pull that in here. Now, here's the deal. If I'm going to use a green screen, which you need to, everybody needs to use a green screen function for every video we're doing. You add a track and move it below the green screen. So this track is green screen. This track is stock footage. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put stock footage behind that. So the first thing I put is you are in charge of yourself. I have a can-do attitude. Now, if you notice that I had so much text, I'm going to have to extend it for longer. I can't put that text and expect people to read it faster than I can narrate it. So obviously I'm going to go longer with it, and I need my background to be there with it. Okay, so here we go. Let's try it again. Let's read through it. What you all will do is you all will select narration and narrate it. I'm not going to do that now because I'm doing a screen capture, but I'm going to narrate it. I'm going to say, you are in charge of yourself. I have a can-do attitude and will always try my best. And then I'm going to stop it right there. So that looks like a good spot, okay? And then now I'm going to do my green screen color here. All right, so I've got that. Let's go into our stock footage, and let's see what else I got. Directions. The next thing says follow directions. Oh, I like this. So this is like following directions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that underneath the green screen, right? Now let's make it longer if we can. Now, that's not, obviously we're going to have to make that a little longer than that. So with the green screen, what you can do is you hit Control-C to copy and Control-V to paste. So I did that 3 different times to almost match that. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to double click. I'm going to hit keying, the dropper, and I can throw that in there if I want. But before I do that, I can do the scale and change that up a little bit. Okay. Or let me put a different one in there. Let's try to find a green screen that's like a laptop or something like that. Okay, let's see what we can find here. Green screen. Let's see what, here we go. So I'm going to put that in there. So that way, like, you know, people are looking at it. People are looking up at the, you know, following directions, right? So I'm going to double click. I'm going to hit keying. I'm going to hit the dropper. I'm going to do that. Now, obviously you can't see the directions like that. I mean, you can see them, but you can't see them real well. So I got to go to that one and drop the scale a little bit and make sure that I center it on my color keyer. Okay, and hit done. There you go. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that. And let's go with a different text. We'll go with a different text. Let's try this one. Okay, so I'm going to say, and I'm just going to leave the color scheme. Let's make it something that's really bright that you can see over top of the people. We'll say, I follow directions and do the right things without being asked, even when nobody is looking. Okay, now I'm going to put this down at the bottom right here, make it smaller. Okay, and then you'll go through there and read through it. Okay, so let's check it out. Let's read through it again. Let's go, I follow directions and do the right thing. Oh, I misspelled it. And do, not to the right, and do. So that's why you need to make sure you check with a friend and make sure they read it too. And do the right things without being asked, even when no one is looking. So I'm going to give it a second, and then I can stop it right there. So that clip is right there, okay? So now we're working through our habit 1, right? So, and then the last but not least, you can check your stock, see what else is in there. Let's go actions, because we're going to talk about actions. You know, so that can drive, okay? That can drive your, what you're going to do. This is the process, your actions. So I'm going to leave it at that. Let's go to my text. And let's see what the text looks like. Let's go back. And all right, so I'm going to do, let's go back with tropical, okay? Actually, that's not going to work because I need a multi-level or a multi-line, if you will. Okay, so let's go with this one. That looks a little different, okay? And now this is going to be hard, so I'm going to double click this, drop the opacity where the text stands out. So you want to be able to see both. Double click, and I'm going to say, I choose my actions, attitudes, and moods, and don't blame others for my wrong doing. Okay, so I've got that. I'm going to hit done. Let's read it. I choose my actions, attitudes, and moods, and don't blame others for my wrong doing. So I'll give it some time. Good deal. All right, now, next thing, what you want to do. You want to add audio. So grab your audio. Let's say you're going to do something inspiring. I'm going to add audio. I'm going to put it there. Okay. You got it there. Now, before I start talking, I want to make sure I do this. I'm going to double click, make sure my volume is where it needs to be. I'm going to drop that down a little bit all the way across at about 23, okay, because I'm doing narration. And last but not least, I'm adding another video track. I'm calling it logo, okay. I'm going to put my logo in there. So let's go back to Project Bin and import from Google Drive. Make sure you add a logo that has a transparent background and not the logo that has a square around it, okay? Not the logo that has a square around it, okay? So here we go, logo, let's see what I can find. I'm just gonna put anything, so I'll put that one in there for right now, okay? And then I'm gonna drop it in there. I'm gonna let it import, okay? And then there it is. I'm not gonna put it in there until after the title. Now, I don't want that because it's got the box around it. So guess what I need to do? What I need to do is I need to go in, I need to grab that logo from Google Drive. Okay. Grab the logo from Google Drive. All right. And let's see if I can find it. Well, I'm going to use the Mr. McGuire one here. So I'm downloading this real quick. But since there's a white box around it, I'm going to go to Remove BG because I can remove that background. Okay. So I'm removing the background so I just see my logo itself that I created. I'm going to download that. I'm going to go back to my bin. I'm going to put it in my bin. Okay, should be there. Okay, there it is in my bin. I'm going to make it smaller. And I'm going to put it on the right. And I'm going to extend it all the way through the end. So what I should see is Habit 1, Be Proactive by Jeremy, and then your narration, okay, with your logo and your music, okay. At the end, you got that, okay, and then I'm going to blend it all out at the same time, okay. Make sure you blend that out too. And then make sure this last but not least, I'm going to split the audio, and then I'm going to hit audio levels. Actually, what I can do is I can just double click this and then fade it out. Don't fade it in, just fade it out, about 2 seconds, okay? And you can reduce noise a little bit, okay? And there it is. Okay, last but not least, you're going to export it. Okay, high definition. And there it is. Okay, so when that's done, you should be able to finish it up. We're going to do all habits like that. And that is the process on how you do a Leader in Me video, on We video for all your habits 1 through 7.